My mom's been broke as since 1982. It's currently 2025. She's still broke as. When I started my cycle, my mom was so pissed because she had to walk to the store and buy maxi pads, as if I asked God for me to start bleeding out my she. Okay? Poverty will affect your kids whether they speak to the you as the parent or not. When your children know you have no car and you have no money, that is going to affect the experience they have as a kid. They're not going to be as willing and wanting to do extracurricular activities, develop hobbies. They won't even develop a sense of style because you too broke to buy them clothes. And it's not even about buying brand new or super expensive things. It's just about enriching your child's experience. When all you can say that you've done for your child is provide them a house or a place to live, and a lot of times that coming from Section 8 and they're in the projects, okay? And or providing them food via food stamps as if this is you worked hard to give to them, you're doing absolutely nothing as a parent. And that is also why I am so against teen pregnancy, because as a teenager, you have not even given yourself the foundation or even been given the foundation to build as an adult. And now you're starting a family. So now you're starting your kids in quicksand and y'all expect them to just climb their way out and be happy about it. Absolutely.
Yeah, I 100% agree with her. She didn't miss not even a little bit in such a short clip. I think that we're giving parents too much credit in the past. And what that has enabled us to do is to continue to push this generational curse on current generations of people, thinking that it's okay to just have a bunch of children that you can't take care of. Then that actually led to what we're looking at today, as far as a bunch of people complaining that the government was shut down and that their food stamps wasn't there, because according to statistics and data, over 42 million people would go hungry if they didn't have food stamps. So the bigger question that we should have been asking ourselves is, why do you continue to open up your legs and you poor? Why is it that poor people have the most children? And we gave our previous generations way too much credit because they lived in the projects, and then they created this environment and these step baby daddies and all of this trauma, and now everybody needs therapy, and it's because you were raised in poverty. And I hate to say it, but poverty is of the devil. And I'm not talking about, going through something or being temporarily disabled or whatever or getting laid off. I'm talking about a perpetual poverty stricken environment that then causes you to do things that you otherwise would have never even considered. That is why they have payday loans in the hood, because when you don't have resources, you take out loans that are extraordinarily high in interest rates, and then it becomes predatory because they know that you ain't got nothing and you're willing to give anything in order to survive for the moment. A lot of these parents absolutely ruined their children. They destroyed them. They put them in very, very harsh situations, and then they had more children. And then for whatever reason, they believed that they deserved some sort of credit for taking government subsidies and handouts and taxpayer dollars to feed their children, and then they fed their children garbage and junk. Honestly, it was a lot of junkies, a lot of bad situations, Section 8 housing, all of that stuff. That does not mean that you deserve to be taken care of by the American government. It means that you are a scourge, and you are and should be held accountable, and we need to start calling out this nonsense. She is 100% correct in my opinion.
Not.
Something I never hear people talk about, I even searched it on TikTok and can't find hardly any videos on, is having parents who are destitute, parents who are poor, parents who have no resources, no retirement, no money in the bank, no job, no prospects, no nothing. And that's both of my parents. And I can't tell you, I have 3 kids of my own. I am in the thick of motherhood and parenting 3 children full time. I don't drop them off for the weekend. I don't and so and I not only have the kids, right? Not to make myself
don't want to drop them off for the weekend.
It's not about me. Oh, maybe it is a little, but it's I wake up in the morning, as soon as my eyes pop open, what am I thinking about? My parents. My mom alone. She's freezing in her house because she has no job and no money. And I'm trying to block it out of my mind because how do I fix their life, right? How do I fix it? and people will be like, it's not your fault, people make their life, whatever. I get it, but it's still on me. It's still on my brain. It's still in my spirit. It still fucks with me. And I don't really know what to do because
a lot of parents have become a burden on the children that that they had. And I've even known parents to have children so that they can be taken care of once they get older. That's their retirement plan, is to be taken care of by their children. It was one guy that I know that was a barber, and this was back when I had hair and all of that stuff on the top of my head, not just on my beard. It was this barber guy, and he wound up having like 9 children, and then he wound up getting divorced. And he said that one of his 9 children had to be successful or make it into the league so that he could be taken care of, because that was his retirement plan. He said this out of his mouth, and all of us that was in the barbershop was looking at him like, man, are you insane? Are you crazy? Are you out of your mind? And that's why the word says that you have to leave an inheritance for your children, because you shouldn't be a burden. It is not the responsibility of somebody that didn't ask to be here to take care of you. Now, if they do, or they honor you or whatever, that's cool. But the last thing that I've ever wanted in my life is to ever have to have my daughter pause her life so that she can ensure that I'm okay, because I was irresponsible for the entirety of my life while I was on this earth. You telling me you've been here for 50, 60, 70, 80 years and you haven't been productive, you haven't saved nothing, you haven't did a 401k, you haven't did anything, and you just completely a burden until you die. And when you die in a debt, and you hand over debt to your children. That's insane to me. I absolutely think that is a horrible way, and I think that people are they're putting their lives on the line just for their children.
Like, I want to help them, but like, I only have so much energy, so much resources of my own. And it's like one of those situations, like, I'll give money, not to my dad, but like, I'll give money. But like, does that solve anything? No. Because you still got to keep giving money, because they're not learning anything. And it's like, the victim mentality will literally destroy your soul. Okay. Like, I don't know, not really your soul is perfect, it's always going to be perfect, but you know what I mean. It's like the victim mentality is so insidious, it will just creep up into literally everything you do, to the point where you're isolated and you have nothing. God, I don't even know.
Also, I feel like if you're going to be a poor and underplanned parent, at very least, you could be honest with your children about that. My main problem with poor people having children is the fact that poor people have children and convince their children that the children don't deserve anything. They don't deserve better parents. They don't deserve a better life. They didn't deserve to have been thoughtfully brought into this world.
It's so funny because people, because my whole life is an open book, and people will hold me accountable for having good parents. And even my daughter experiences it. And this shows you how bad the culture is getting, is that my daughter have come to me before and said, people be getting mad at me talking about, well, I got 2 parents. What do you mean? People are mad at you that you got 2 parents.
Get what they get and they don't get upset. All because the parents just wanted to have smacks. That's not fair. Like, that's I'm not going to sit around and say poor people shouldn't have children, but if poor people are going to have children, then they should let their children know, yeah, I could have made better decisions. I didn't make this decision right here. The day that you were born, me and daddy should have, me and mommy could have, would have, should have, could have, would have. Had that conversation with your child so that, 1, they don't end up in a similar situation, but 2, so that they are not moving through life feeling like they have to accept less, they have to accept lack, they have to just fight and struggle and suffer. Like, not saying that you don't have to work hard and do things in life. Obviously you do. But I think it's a much better foundation when you were cared for and the people around you set an example of what it looks like to care about how your life was going to turn out and put the work in. Like, yes, before my children, I did X, Y, and Z. I made this sacrifice. I thought about this thing. I thought about her future, his future, what it was going to look like, blah, 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 whatever. How do you expect your child to care about themselves and create this great life and strive for all these amazing things that y'all claim to want y'all children to do when you won't even set the standard?
No, she's right. She's 100% right. I've said this for a long time. When I first said it, everybody acted like they were so appalled and it was such a horrible take. When I said that poor people should absolve themselves of having children until they reasonably, you ain't got to be rich, but you should be able to reasonably take care of them, and that should not become the burden of everybody else. Let me know what y'all think inside of the comments. Make sure y'all tap into the Patreon. Link is in the description. T-Chanley, 40% off your first order, 20% off for life. I love you. I appreciate you. I'm going to keep you in the loop, as always.